Okay, artists, so we want to start thinking about our building design and how it's going to solve this problem of being too hot and keeping people safe using forms. So what I'm going to do in this demonstration is just show you how you can use forms and kind of combine them together. It's up to you to solve that problem. That's what I'm going to be watching for your Flipgrids today, so I'm not going to share my ideas with that. I want to see yours. But as far as the forms go, I thought I would remind you how to draw some real quick, and I might add some extras to the list to give you ideas. So if you are happily creating, don't mind me, you can turn your volume down. If you need ideas or you need to remember how to draw forms, I would tune in while you're working. So the first one that I will remind you of is the cube, which is a 3D square. So if you remember, we draw a square. We draw a square a little underneath that overlaps, like that. And then corner to corner, we add diagonal lines. And you can kind of erase as you go. If you want to have a ruler, you can have a ruler. If you want to erase the lines inside, it comes out looking a little better. You can see I made a mistake here, artist. I pressed down really hard with my mechanical pencil, and I'm having a hard time erasing. See that? So you want to draw kind of lightly. And remember, to make something look 3D, we need to add sort of the shadows around, and we blend with our finger. Okay, so that's the cube. We also learned pyramids, which were like a 3D triangle. Sorry, I'm working in a different space today. My pencil's a little wonky. Which was just these two pyramid faces, remember? So artists, when you're adding all your shapes together today, I want to remind you that all the different shadows should be on the same side. That'll make everything look better and more consistent. And the last one that we tried last week was the sphere, which remember was the circle with the shadow. See how I put a shadow on the left side this time? Because the shadow is on the left side of all these objects. So we definitely want our shadows to match. There's a couple others you could add, like the cylinder, which is like an oval with two vertical lines and a rounded line at the bottom. That shows the shape of a cylinder. And to show its 3D shadow, we would just add a shadow on the left side, kind of like that. Something else you could try is a cone, which is kind of similar to a triangle. It has two diagonal lines kind of that shoot down and a curved line at the bottom. And then you would add your shading to the one side. So this is just a reminder of what different forms you could choose to use in your building today and how you might stack them together. I was actually thinking if I wanted to have more of a rectangular, tall building, I could draw a rectangle and add these diagonal lines. I showed you guys this way last time. And then I'd have this sort of big, tall rectangle building where I could add a cone or a sphere. Maybe you want something more like a bubble city. A sphere would work really well for that. Think about all the examples of different kinds of architecture we saw today. Think about these forms that you might be inspired by. And the other thing is, when you're making a building, you need to have some patterns on it, like windows, which might be squares. You can see what I'm drawing right now reminds me more of a skyscraper. This looks more like present day architecture. It doesn't look as futuristic, but that's a way I could add a pattern. Or maybe if my building was made out of some really cool like slime material that held in heat, I could show it by creating a curved line pattern to add some of that design to it. So remember, artists, you need 3 forms and 2 patterns of some kind in your building design. So I'm going to check in now.